So Sega did it again. They had another success. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was an astonishing hit, and it was the game that really threw the Genesis into the stratosphere. All of a sudden, everybody wanted one. The Genesis had grown in popularity, and it had begun to overtake the video game market. It was outselling the Super Nintendo. So what was Sega going to do? Well, today we're going to talk about that in part 3 of my Sonic the Hedgehog series, based on Sonic Jam for the Sega Saturn. But first, if you've enjoyed these videos, be sure to check out my first and second part by following the card on the top right and subscribing and clicking that bell to be informed when I post new videos. With that said, let's go ahead and get into this. So just like Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 was developed in California by the Sega Technical Institute. After the completion of Sonic 2, STI split into two teams. One was in Japan, who worked on Sonic 3, and the other was in America, who worked on Sonic Spinball. Yuji Naka and Hirokazu Yasuhara were the primary creators. They began development in January of 1993, with the deadline of February of 1994. Sega and McDonald's would have a major promotional campaign for the game, which is why the deadline was in February of 1994. They were originally using the Sega Virtua processor chip to allow for 3D graphics. They created a prototype with isometric graphics with the working title of Sonic 3D. The original special stage featured a polygonal Sonic in a figure 8 shape stage, but it became apparent that the chip would not be finished by the time the game came out. So Sonic 3 was restarted and turned into a more conventional 2D platform game. The isometric concept was eventually used for Sonic 3D Blast in 1996 though. According to Naka, the team felt that they needed a deeper story to expand the world of Sonic. The levels were increased in size, triple the size of those in Sonic 2, and they had worked on ideas that were originally conceived during the development of Sonic 2. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Sonic & Knuckles were originally planned as a single game, but they were time limited, and the manufacturing of the 34 megabit cartridge that would be required to make the game was far too high. So, in a mix of the McDonald's promotion and the hardware being too expensive, as well as the game taking more time to develop, the team split it in half. But today, we're going to be talking about that first half, Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 had many firsts. One of the first was the introduction of Knuckles the Echidna. Obviously, Knuckles went through various designs, but the chosen design by Takashi Yuda was ultimately picked. Knuckles was to be a rival to Sonic, and that theme is used all throughout Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Apparently, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 had a very troubled development, but the final product was realized and is one of the best Sonic games ever developed, and is many people's favorite, for very good reasons that we will get into. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is made up of 6 zones. The presentation is way better than the presentation of the other 2 games as well. You have more hidden secrets, more opportunities to snag up those Chaos Emeralds. The acts are significantly bigger and are connected together as opposed to completely separated. You have your forest being set on fire. You have an underwater city, ancient ruins, casinos, snowy mountains and caverns, and a launch base zone. The themes are more fleshed out this time around as well. Tails is controllable by the second controller and can actually fly this time around, and Sonic can grab onto him while in the air. At the beginning of the game, at the file select screen, there is a file select screen because this time around you have a save feature and you can select the team formation you want. Sonic and Tails, Sonic Solo, or Tails Solo. You can play as Tails by himself and fly through most areas and reach areas that aren't reachable otherwise. And you will notice many areas you cannot reach with Sonic or Tails as well. The boss fights are quite a bit better than before as well, and offer a good challenge to seasoned players of the genre. But the Eggman ultimately goes down every single time. And according to those who were involved in development, Michael Jackson composed portions of the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 soundtrack, but went uncredited. In 2005, Hector stated that Sega hired American pop musician Michael Jackson to compose music for Sonic 3. Jackson was a fan of the Sonic games and had collaborated with Sega on the 1990 arcade game Moonwalker. According to Hector, Jackson's involvement in Sonic 3 was terminated following the first allegations of sexual abuse against him. His music had already been implemented and had to quickly be reworked by Howard Drawson, the website of musician Chiraco Jones, who contributed music to Sonic 3 under the name Sirocco, credits himself along with Jackson and Jackson collaborator Brad Buxer for musical cues for levels 2 and 3 of Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic co-creator Naoto Oshima said Jackson recorded an a cappella demo tape for the game, but the Sega was unable to use the compositions due to various incidents. He added that Sega probably still had the demo tape as well. In a 2009 interview with French magazine Black and White, Buxer stated that Jackson had been involved with some Sonic 3 compositions, but chose to remain uncredited because he was unhappy with the sound capabilities of the Genesis. He also said that the Sonic 3 credits music became the basis for Jackson's 1996 single Stranger in Moscow. In 2013, fans discovered that the musical theme for Ice Cap Zone closely resembles a previously unreleased 1982 track by the Jetsons, Hard Times, co-written by Buxer. An anonymous source involved in development told Game Trailers that Jackson's contributions remained, such as in the theme for Carnival Night Zone, and that Jackson had chosen to remain uncredited. In 2019, Game Revolution's Alex Donaldson noted that Sonic 3 had been re-released less frequently since Jackson's death in 2009 and speculated that this was due to legal problems with his estate. Further, Sega staff including senior producer Mike Latham, marketing director Al Nilsson, Sonic 3 marketing director Pam Kelly, and Sega of America president Tom Kalinske stated that any involvement of Jackson was arranged without their knowledge and that no contracts nor formal agreements were made. In 2013, Hector stated that any similarities to Jackson's music in Sonic 3 were unintentional. Journalist Ken Horowitz raised questions about Jackson's alleged involvement, such as how an agreement between Sega and Jackson could have been kept secret from the media, why Sega's marketing never mentioned Jackson's involvement, and why Jackson would reuse music originally composed for a video game. Other tracks were composed by Sega's sound staff, including Jun Senoue, who became a regular composer for the series. In 2010, Senoue indicated that he knew quite a lot about Jackson's involvement, but he was not allowed to discuss it. Some tracks were replaced in the 1997 Windows port, Sonic & Knuckles Collection. These tracks also appear in a Sonic 3 prototype discovered in 2019, suggesting that they were written for the Genesis before being replaced by Jackson's music. Sonic 3 contains two types of special stages. When players collect at least 50 rings and pass a checkpoint, they get one of these. This one involves bouncing up a gumball-like machine corridor to collect power-ups by hitting a switch. Both sides of the corridor are lined with flippers, and the flippers disappear as you touch them. And the switch drops down when both flippers supporting it are removed. The corridor's floor contains a bounce pad, which also disappears after one use. Falling afterwards causes the player to leave the stage with the most recent power-up collected. The second type of special stage can be found by looking for giant rings hidden throughout the stages, and involves running around a 3D map, passing through all of a number of blue spheres arranged in patterns. Passing through a blue sphere turns it red, and touching a red sphere causes the player to leave the stage, unless the player has just completed a cycle around the arrangement of blue spheres, in which case all of these spheres turn into harmless rings. Removing all of the blue spheres gives the player Chaos Emerald. If Sonic, not Tails, collects all 7, he can become Super Sonic at will, which makes him invincible to most obstacles. Failing to collect the 7 Chaos Emeralds will trigger a post-credits scene in which Robotnik and Knuckles taunt you though. There is also a 2-player competitive mode with 5 unique stages that do not appear in the game. There is also a time attack trial for these stages as well. So with all that said, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is a fantastic game. And when it came out, it did not feel incomplete. And playing through it again, it still doesn't feel incomplete. It feels like a complete experience. However, knowing what I know about the game is why I'm going to have to go through it again, connected to Sonic and Knuckles. And one of my absolute favorite experiences with the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise, Sonic 3 and Knuckles. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is a solid 9 out of 10. It is a fantastic game. It is most people's favorite Sonic, along with Sonic and Knuckles, and it deserves to be there. I personally think that Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is a better game, but with that said, that's all nostalgia blinding me. In all reality, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is probably the best Sonic game ever made to this day. Next week, we will be talking about Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And it will also be a fairly long video like this one. So if you enjoyed what you saw today, click that sub button, click that bell, slap that like button, and look out for next week's video on Sonic and Knuckles. Also, if you enjoyed the content, feel free to support the channel by going to the Patreon link in the description down below. Until next time, stay nerdy.